Hello and welcome everybody to EHS Academy. My name is Sharad Shetty. Previously, I have given one lecture on NBC. This is the part 2, and today we are going to cover our next topics in National Building Code. And we are going to cover today these 4 topics which are given in this PPT. First of all, we are going to discuss about terminologies. Second, classification of buildings. Third, general requirements of individual occupancies. And fourth, access requirement for high-rise buildings. Okay, these 4 topics are very important in NBC. Okay, first of all, we have to know the terminologies. Okay, what are the terminologies, what are the word used in NBC? Okay, in next slide we are going to see that only. Okay, here we are seeing terminologies. To know the rules better and understanding of the terminologies used in the NBC is essential. Some of the important terminologies are given below. Okay, building height, coverage area, downcomer, dry riser, automatic fire detection and alarm system, high rise building, and pilot area, roof plot, side plot, wet riser, floor area ratio, emergency light, fire door, fire exit, fire lift, fire load density, fire resistance rating, and fire suppression. These are some terminologies used in NBC. Okay, one by one we are going to understand this all terminologies. Okay, building height. Now in this terminology we are going to understand how we are going to measure a height of a building. Okay, every building is measured from vertically. Okay, we will not going to think about any horizontal distance, how much it is. We are only going to see the vertical. Okay, the high rise building means the building, if the building height is more than 15 meters, we will call it as high rise building vertically. Okay, and coverage area and covered area. What is covered area? Means the area in which the particular building has been established, it is called as covered area. And downcomer, this terminology is used for fire hydrant systems. Okay, and mainly downcomer is a system where the reserve tanks of water will be held in the terrace float, and downcoming hydrant systems will be there. Okay, and dry riser is, as well as you know, there are 2 types of hydrant systems. One is dry riser and one is wet riser. Dry riser is when the water will be not be present in the hydrant system, is called as dry riser. Automatic fire detection and alarm systems. Okay, these are the systems, as well as you know, fire detection and alarm system. In this I don't think so you have to explain more. Okay, and high rise building, already I have told you. Okay, plinth area, the build up cover area measured at the floor level of the basement of an story. Okay, this is called as plinth area. Okay, now the roof plot. What do you mean by roof plot? Okay, it means a means of escape onto the roof of the building. Okay, it is also one type of evacuation point, where the evacuation point will be in the terrace of the building. Okay, it is called as roof plot. Okay, now side plot, it is also a same as the roof plot, but this side plot is located in the downside of the building. Okay, a means of escape, it is also a means of escape. A piece of land enclosed by the definite boundaries is called as side plot. Okay, wet risers, now this is also a same as dry riser, but the opposite word. Okay, in this the water will be present in the horizontal pipes of the horizontal and vertical pipes of the hydrant systems. Okay, now the floor area ratio. In this, the quotient obtained by the dividend of the total cover area of all the floor by the plot area is called as floor area ratio. Okay, emergency light is the lights which are used in emergency. If any fire outbreak happens or any disaster happens, these lights will be automatically on. Okay, it have its independent power source. Okay, it's called as emergency light. Fire door, a approved fire resistance door provided at a option of segregation of areas. Okay, this door is used to segregate the area. Okay, if there is any fire in a particular location, this door will help to prevent the fire from spreading. Okay, now next one, fire exit. Fire exit, as it is a easy word, you already heard about that. And fire lift, fire load. Okay, we'll see fire load. Okay, fire load, You know the formula of the fire load: total number of combustible material into uh, the calorific value of the combustible material divided by the floor area is called as fire load. And the fire load density. What is fire load density? The fire load density is covered by the floor area. Okay, it is as same as the fire load only. There is nothing any difference, but just we are going to see the floor area. What is the floor area? We are going to add this. Fire resistance rating. Now what is fire resistance rating? Let's see. The time that a material or a construction will withstand the standard fire exposure at a determined by the fire test. Okay, fire resistance ratio means a particular material or a constructing material. For example, you have some bricks or something, and you have gone for a testing, and the testing reports the resistance of the particular material to the fire in what temperature is called as fire resistance ratio. Fire suppression, this is the last. Okay, now let's go to the our third slide. General requirement of individual occupancies. All building must satisfy certain requirements which contribute individually and collectively to the safety of the life from fire, smoke, gums, etc. There are certain general principles and requirements which are applicable to all or most of the occupancies. Second point, a high-rise building during construction shall be provided with the following fire protection measures and must maintain the building in the good working condition. What it is telling is simple. There are some requirements which NBC have been imposed on every sectors of the buildings. Okay, and there are four major points which are in the next slide. We are going to see that. See, the first is a dry riser of minimum 100 diameter pipe, and second is the drum of 2000 liter capacity filled with the water and full, and 2 fire buckets in each floor. A water tank of minimum 20,000 liter capacity. This may however can be used to other construction purpose also. Okay, now let's go to our next slide. Classification of building. Group A building, residential building. There are buildings in which sleeping accommodation is provided for normal residence population. Example, lodges, apartments and guest house. Okay, you can imagine a particular apartments. Okay, in this photo also you can see there is a apartment. It is called as residential building and it belongs to group A. Okay, now group B, educational buildings. By word only you can know what type of buildings it includes. It includes colleges, schools, training centers, institutes. Okay, and it comes under group B. Okay, and group C, institutional buildings. Okay, institutional buildings are those buildings like hospitals and government offices. This all comes under institutional buildings. Okay, there are buildings used for the purpose of medical care of infinite aged, etc. Okay, and group D, assembly buildings. These buildings where more than 50 people gathers for the recreation, social or religious purpose is assembly buildings. These assembly buildings have assembly halls, auditoriums, places of worship, dance halls, etc. And this belongs to group D. And group E, business buildings. There are buildings used for transaction of businesses. Okay, other hand covered in the group F also. Okay, for keeping our accounts, professional establishment. Example, offices, bank, professional establishment. Group F, there are buildings include any shops, stores, etc. Like shopping malls. This all comes under group F, merchandise buildings. Okay, and group G, industrial buildings is assembly plants, dry cleaning plants, power plants and pumps. Okay, all industrial buildings comes under group G. Okay, and group H, storage buildings. And group J, hazardous buildings. Storage buildings are those buildings where the goods are being stored. Okay, you can see in the first photo this is a storage buildings, and in second photo you can see a hazardous buildings where in these buildings which are used to store hazardous materials, manufacturing processes of highly combustible or explosive materials which is labeled to burn with the extreme rapid or with many product process fumes. Okay, this type of buildings where hazardous materials are stored is called as hazardous buildings. Okay, these are the classifications of buildings. Okay, we have already seen covered our 4 topics which we are going to be we have discussed it today, and the third part will come sooner, and it will be the last part of the National Building Code. Okay, and if there is any doubt, please ask us in comments, and thanks.